Good morning and welcome to this Moneycontrol live stream. You're watching Opening Bell with me, Nandita Khemka, Tuesday morning, and it happens to be the weekly FNO expiry as well on the Nifty. So yes, crucial day in terms of the market movement. Yesterday, of course, we didn't start on a great note, but the good part is that we managed to reclaim that 26,000 mark towards the end of the session. In fact, even the breadth turned positive by the end of the session. So yes, that was something that we took heart from. But the big question is today, the GIFT Nifty is hinting at a cut of somewhere around 80 odd points. So looks like we are poised to take out the 26,000 mark at the open. But the key question is whether we can stage another pulled out more than $18 billion from the equity markets, Indian equity markets this year alone. So yes, it has been a exodus, so to say. But let's see whether 2026 signals a reversal in trend or not. In terms of the FNOQs, put call ratio climbed to 1.18 vis-a-vis 1.15 in the previous session, and the stock that will continue to be in FNO band today is Bandhan Bank. But to understand the texture from here and what to expect in terms of where the Nifty Bank and other stocks are headed, let me bring on board Ajit Mishra, Senior VP Technical Research at Religare Broking. Hi Ajit, good morning. Thanks a lot for joining in. Always a pleasure chatting with you. Yesterday, we did stage a smart recovery from the day's low, but given the fact that it's expiry today, GIFT Nifty is hinting at another 80-point cut. Also, the fact that rupee has been consistently making record lows today as well. 90.8 has been breached, very close to 91 handle now actually. So how will this bode for the headline indices, so to say? 25,900, should one take that as the key support level on the Nifty?
Yeah, good morning, Nanda. So, Nanda, yes, it's a kind of like a roller coaster ride that we are currently experiencing in the index, at least. Means, like on every occasion, we inch closer to around 26,000, 26,100 levels. There's something or the other which comes up and, push the markets lower. But at the same time, the good part is that the key sectors, banking and IT, they are holding strong. Then we have other sectors on a rotational basis, which are also, offering support on every day. So it's a kind like a tussle which is going on around 26,000 mark, and after making a new record highs, it's natural that you see some consolidation before you mark the next leg of the up move. So as long as Nanda, we are holding above this 25,800 mark, one should continue with buy on dips approach in the market, with 26,100, 200 being the positional targets. For the major clues, because we don't have any major event now, be it on domestic front or a global front, rupee weakness definitely is denting the sentiment. There's no doubt about it. But at the same time, the kind of commentary that we are hearing from the Apex Bank and the economist as well, that it's not a major concern as of now, considering that the inflation is already under control and RBI is not intervening as such, considering the export challenges that currently we have. So yes, amid this rupee challenges, as long as we are maintaining above the key areas, one should continue to focus on the quality names across sectors, especially the private banks, auto, metal, and select stock from the pharma and IT basket as well.
What about FMCG, Ajit? That index also made a good comeback yesterday. HUL, Marico, Dabur, I think these were some of the names that did well yesterday. Would you look at them at all now?
So certainly means, see, when it comes to the sector is currently underperforming because we are still trading below the major averages. But at the same time, we have handful of names like Britannia, Marico, which are trading at the record highs. Then we have stocks like Godrej CP, wherein we are seeing early sign of reversal. Selective buying definitely can be considered, considering that we are seeing volatile swings in the rate sensitive basket. So yes, few names from the FMCG basket and the other defensive spaces can be something that one can consider going long. Basis they are the key support areas.
Okay. Of course, you mentioned private banks. Which are the private banks that are looking attractive now? And, what are the resistance levels on the Nifty Bank Index? Given the fact that we made a very smart recovery from the day's low on the Nifty Bank Index, over almost 400-point recovery. Would you shift your resistance levels a bit higher? What are you working with?
So banking, in fact, Nanta, if you see that in the last 3 weeks, we are strongly holding the 20 EMA, which is the first line of defense. So though we penetrated that zone intraday for brief, but we managed to hold that area. Upside around 60,100, 60,500 is something that we are eyeing as the next major hurdle. For the intraday, 59,800 might also act as an immediate resistance. Broadly, 58,400, 58,800. That's the zone basically, where we expect buying interest to emerge in case if there'll be any further dip. Within the private banking space, Axis, Kotak, IDFC First Bank, these are some of the names which are holding strong. HDFC, ICICI, the key players, they are still witnessing consolidation. The focus should remain on the other names like Kotak, Axis, and IDFC First.
Okay, got it. Ajit, just about 2 odd minutes to go for the markets to open. Would you like to share your recommendations for our viewers this morning first?
Yeah, certainly. So, we were discussing about FMCG. Britannia definitely looks very promising. Means after a marginal consolidation with hardly any retracement from the record highs, this shows the stock has potential to outperform within the FMCG basket and overall market as well. So 58.30 is what one should maintain as a stop loss. Currently, the stock is quoting around 6,038 mark, and 64.50 is positionally what we are eyeing as a target zone. Then from the energy basket, OMCs, they are doing exceptionally well. Means in the last two trading session, we have seen a strong traction and we expect this recovery to further strengthen. So IUC from the OMC basket is something that you can look for fresh long also, with 164 as a stop loss and 178 as a target area.
Okay, Britannia and IOC, two recommendations. Just want to point out there's some bit of news flow in terms of Britannia this morning. Subhashish Basu has been appointed as the head of dairy business. He was earlier the CEO at Anik Milk, and he has also been associated with Pratap Snacks, Mother Dairy, and PepsiCo. In fact, current dairy head Abhishek Sinha has been elevated to Chief Sales Transformation Officer. And recently we had Rakshit Hargave as well, who was appointed as the MD and CEO with effect from the 15th of December. So yes, Britannia there. In focus, the stock of course up somewhere around almost 0.5% or so, just about in the pre-open session, of course, with just about seconds to go from the market open. But this index yesterday as well was among the top gainers. I think that index gained somewhere around 2%. On the back of good gains in stocks like DB Corp and even the PVR for that matter, because Dhurandhar has entered the 350 crore rupee bracket. So yes, that stock was in focus, PVR. Today, IT, that's down 0.5%. I think that's the biggest sectoral laggard. Despite the rupee tailwind emerging, IT is under pressure. Yesterday, IT made a good comeback in the session, but today IT is taking the lead when it comes to the laggards, followed by banks, metals, autos, PSU banks. All those sectors are trading with mild cuts, no big cuts, but the texture is pretty much on the downside. In terms of the individual movers, Eternal is the top laggard, and some of the other names are the likes of Axis Bank, HCL Tech, Infosys, Geo Financial, Hindalco, Sun Pharma, TCS. So mix of IT, banks, pharma. These are some of the stocks that are under pressure. All metal names, Tata Steel, JSW Steel, etc. under pressure. On the flip side, gainers list is slim this morning as well. Bharti Airtel, that's the top nifty gainer, up just about 1%. Apollo Hospital, Grasim. Some consumption names are doing well. Tata Consumer, Asian Paints, they are holding out, and Kotak Mahindra Bank as well, marginally in the green, but from the banking lot, this is kind of holding out as of now. Interglobe Aviation, mild gains coming in. I think it will be the fourth straight day of gains for Interglobe Aviation after the kind of badgering it has seen on the back of flight disruptions. But today, fourth straight day of gains on an Interglobe Aviation as well. Ajit, coming to you, Interglobe. What have you been doing in these last 4 days when it comes to this particular stock? Of course, it got hammered, but trying to make a rebound as operations normalize. How would you look at the stock?
So yes, Nanta, in fact, there were names from the MS basket also, wherein we were seeing that news-related, triggers resulted in sharp declines, and similar kind of decline was witnessed in Indigo. But now things are stabilizing on price action as well. Means in the last 3-4 trading session, the kind of range that we were seeing the stocks were witnessing, that has narrowed. So it's kind of like a pause or a base formation activity which has already started, and gradually we expect this things to build. And Indigo 5200, 5300 is something that the stock might attempt. Means this 4700 mark, which was the support area, that also coincides with the critical moving average on the weekly charts, 100 EMA. So that gives us confidence that broadly is likely to consolidate and eventually inch toward 52, 5300 mark in the near future.
Okay, things seem to be normalizing on the charts as well for an interglobe. But shift focus toward delivery. Of course, it has launched an on-demand intra-city offering both in Mumbai and Hyderabad. The stock, is extremely flat. No big moves. In fact, as we speak, it has slipped into the red as well. And the stock has been on the back foot if you look at the last 4-5 weeks or so. How would you look at delivery? Would you say that there could be any kind of up move from here? Would you say it will remain in the consolidative mode that it has been in? How are things looking like on the charts?
So Nanta, from this level close to around 240 to 500 was a vertical move, and from last 3-4 months we are seeing a bit of a corrective trend unfolding. The good part is that it seems like that bottom has already been made. It's just that we need some more time to consolidate. Means in this range of close to around 420, 25 on the higher side, 390 on the lower side, that will continue to be area where the stock might continue to move. And decisive breakout above the upper band can result in next directional move. So as of now, consolidation is more likely. So if the view is short term, one can avoid. If somebody wish to accumulate, yes, it's a time basically they can start accumulating at current levels, add more in case if it sees any dip around 380 area, with 370 as a positional stop and 420, 430 as a positional target zone.
Okay. Stock has already bottomed out, delivery. Okay, then. Let's shift focus to some queries then. A lot of them coming in, so I would want to get as many addressed as possible. So there's a query that is coming on water stocks, Viatech, Wabag and Iron Exchange. NP Gandhi wants to know your thoughts on these particular counters. Iron Exchange, of course, is in news. The company has bagged a 205 crore rupee order from Raisin Energy, Inox Solar. This stock is in focus. The stock is in fact up somewhere around 6% or so as we speak. It has been on a good trajectory. If you look at the last month, last 5 days as well, the stock has seen good traction. How are you poised here? Because the stock still, has quite a lot of distance to cover when it comes to its 52-week highs. It's in excess of 730. So at 404, how are things looking?
So yes, this week definitely is a positive one. Means 50% we have already seen the stock has gained. Volumes are also very strong. So this indicates a possibility of further recovery, let's say towards 440, 450 area. So we still have decent 8 to 10% kind of an upside left. So but yes, it's just a recovery because the kind of trend that we are seeing the stock is currently trading in, this zone would be difficult to cross. So if you are trading for a rebound, you can consider with the stop loss at 390 and upside around 440, 450, one should reevaluate.
Okay. Well, hope that answers your query. Let's shift focus to the next one then. Samir Nayak wants to know your thoughts on Solar Industries for a fresh entry. Of course, he's pointed out that the stock has been on a downward trajectory for the last few months. Yes, it has been under pressure. Look at the last 6 months. I think it has shaved off quite a bit, 30%. Is it a buy at all at these levels?
Sunanta, yes, we are still seeing that the stock is gradually drifting lower. Volumes are certainly down, so which is a positive sign. But we have major support around 11,300, 700 zones. So we still have 400, 500 points. We are away from that area. So and still we need to see some early sign of recovery or at least consolidation. So as of now, it's an avoid. maybe closer to around 11,700 zone, 300 zone is something that one can start nibbling selectively with 11,000 as a closing stop loss.
Okay, that's the view. Hope that answers your query as well. Moving on to the next one, Nana Prakasam wants to know your thoughts on a Bombay Burma. Stock is extremely flat, hasn't really shown any traction in the last month, last 5 days as well. If you see, any thoughts? Bombay Burma, how is it really poised, and what are the signals that's coming out from the charts? It's at 1860 or so. What is the next target to watch out for here?
So it's been almost 10 months now that we are seeing this band continuing 1740 to 2100 mark, and currently we are closer to the lower band. Stock is still trading below the major averages on the daily chart. Volumes are very thin, so it's not a stock to trade in. Means in case if you are investing, definitely you can consider the stock with 1700 as a key area. But avoid in case if you're planning for any like in a short-term trading position, because sideways negative bias might continue maybe for weeks.
Okay, that's the view. Investment purposes, perhaps yes, but trading purposes, no. That's the advice on Bombay Burma. Okay, let's move on to the next query. Shweta Naidu wants to know your thoughts on CG Power, which she holds at 660. She wants to know whether one should hold on or buy transformers and rectifiers. Interesting query. CG Power, I think her buy price, she mentioned 660, mild profits, but the stock has been stuck in a downtrend as well. And Transformers has had some very dramatic moves on and off. What would your suggestion be?
So yes, in fact, she can consider exiting CG Power, considering that the stock is still, struggling, and still I feel that trail is not out of woods completely. Though we have seen a very strong rebound in the last two trading session, but we still have something like to build on. Means there should be some base formation before we say that yeah the stock has bottomed out. So which is not the scenario yet. But yeah, CG Power can witness further correction. So as of now, she can consider exiting and sit on cash.
Okay, consider exiting and sit on cash. That's the view, Shweta. I hope that answers your query. Okay, the next query is on AU Small Finance Bank from Solomon. A lot of mid-rung banks like Federal Bank, Canara Bank, they are finding favor with analysts. But what about AU Small? Would you advise looking at this one?
So it's among the top performing name, no doubt about it. And the stock is still, quoting around the record highs, maintaining above the short-term averages. So this indicates momentum also. But after this phenomenal move, consolidation is more likely. So aggressive longs is something that you should reframe. If you have existing position, 950 is the immediate base, the 20 EMA zone. So as long as we are maintaining above this mark, you can continue to hold your longs. You can buy fresh also, but keep the position size in check, because there is a possibility that we might see some bit of a consolidation or profit taking in the near future before the next leg of the up move.
Okay. The stock could see some bit of a profit taking. That's the answer. I hope that answers your query really. But shifting focus to the next one, then there's one that's coming on a JM Financial. Don't have the person's name, but wants to know your thoughts on how the stock is poised over the next 6 months. Okay, the stock hasn't shown a lot of traction. If you look at the last month, even if you look at the last 6 months, it has been pretty sideways. How does the next 6 months stack up for a stock like GM Financial? Anything that you can pick up from the charts?
Yeah, so trend is positive, no doubt about it. It's just that we are seeing profit taking or underperformance in mid cap and small cap names, but still it's comparatively better when it comes to the long term texture. And 125, 128 is a very strong base area. It's just that we have multiple resistances closer to the current area. So consolidation is likely if you talk about shorter duration, but yeah, from 3 to 6 month kind of a time horizon, definitely one can continue to hold their long positions with 125 as a stop loss. And higher side, the movement, let's say we cross 160, 65 levels decisively, we are set for the next leg of the up move. So it looks okay if the view is more than 6 months.
Okay, that's the view on GM Financial. There's a query on Indigo, but we've already addressed it. Perhaps you could go back in the feed and check out Ajit's answer on that. But Eternal, there's a query on this particular stock from Pankaj Kajalia. Wants to know what needs to be done. He has 2,000 shares at the rate of 299.7. The stock has seen, its fair share of profit taking. Today as well, it's down almost 3% to 90.4. That's where it is as of now. Of course, he's kind of making a loss. How would you advise him to go about his position?
So yes, in fact, we were seeing bit of a recovery rebound attempt from the long-term moving averages. So basically, 287 is the mark where we have the 200 days of exponential moving average placed, and we are currently hovering around that mark. I assume that he have just recently bought it. 285 should be his stop loss, because in case if it fails to hold this area, then probably we may see further decline, and being top underperformer in Nifty trade today. So this zone is something which one should be closely eyeing on. Upside around 300, 305 is the strong resistance area also. The upside also seems capped. So in case if the view is short term, he can consider exiting on any bounce around the resistance area and wait for a decisive close above 310 for any sign of reversal.
Okay, that's the view on Eternal. But, I want to take up this query on Power Grid from Sukruta Bhide. Wants to know your thoughts on, what should be done. Holds positions at 292 rupees, making a loss here. The stock is in fact just coming off its 52-week lows as well. And has been, an underperformer. Look at the YTD returns. It's down 16%. And, there's a V-shaped kind of a, structure on the charts I can see, but hasn't really been able to hold on to the kind of recovery it saw somewhere around the middle of the year. How are things looking? Is the weakness likely to persist, and what should one do if they are stuck in this counter with a loss?
Near future definitely looks weak to us. Means the stock has already shifted below the critical support on weekly charts, also around 270 mark, and we are gradually drifting. The last major support was around 245 mark, from where we saw this stock witnessing rebound. So still we have roughly around 8-9% kind of a decline left. In case if it fails to reclaim 270 decisively in the near future. So as of now, if the view is short term, she can consider exiting at least partial position here and wait for a dip towards 245 to re-enter in case if she wishes to continue with the same name, or switch to the private banking names like Access Kotak, after exiting this position, and for Power Grid, wait for a decisive close above 280 to re-enter.
Okay, that's about Power Grid. One last query then. This one is coming in on NMDC from, MV Hari Krishna. He's been holding this stock and, wants to know what, in fact, he just wants to know what needs to be done. Should he add more, exit, hold, what's the call? NMDC has seen good traction along with the metal pack, but it has actually underperformed the rest of the metal pack, so to say. Within the metal basket, what are your thoughts on NMDC if one is holding on?
So we have recommended this to our clients also of late. So that's a disclosure, and we believe that the stock is set for the next leg of the up move. Means 72 to 79 is broadly the range. We were very close to the upper band. It made an attempt yesterday, but couldn't surpass. And today we are seeing marginal profit taking. So as long as we are maintaining above 74 mark, one can definitely continue with the long position. Above 79, 85 to 90, something positionally the stock might test. So yes, you can continue with your longs. You can buy fresh also.
Okay, continue with your long and you can buy fresh also. That's the view on and NMDC. Just want to get in, one last query then, but it's a recent listing. I don't know how much data you will have. This query is on WeWork, and, I think Mrudan Gameshwar wants to know your thoughts. I think he bought 630 shares. 630, no, he bought 53 shares at the rate of 630 rupees. and wants to know whether he can add more or whether he should exit. The stock, of course, is quoting at 585 or so. I know you'll have limited data, but any thoughts on how one should navigate a stock like WeWork?
So earlier, Nanta, post listing, we were seeing this range playing out, means 600, 660. Now this range has shifted to 610 to 580. So if the view is short term and he feels stuck, 580 definitely is the only area which he should watch out for. Avoid adding to your loss making position. If the view is long term, definitely you can consider, means considering the kind of theme that you are playing out. But for the shorter duration, I believe that this consolidation or sideways might continue, and a decisive trend reversal can only happen the moment we cross 620, 625 on the daily charts.
Okay, 620, 625, crucial zone to watch out for. That's what Ajit has to say about the stock. But with that, we've come to the end of the query segment. Ajit, would like to thank you for taking out time and joining in and sharing your thoughts. Always a pleasure. And hopefully, before the year ends, we'll touch base once again.
Certainly, Nanda. Same here. Same here. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. On that note, quickly take a look at the market before we bring on board our next guest for today. It's kind of become even more weak at the index level. We're down over 100 points now on the Nifty, close to that 25,900, 920 mark. But let's see how things really pan out, because it is expected to be a choppy day in the week of the FNO expiry that we have today. But completely timed out on this edition of Opening Bell. Thanks a lot for tuning in. Of course, we'll be back with the markets at 3 p.m. So don't forget to tune in then. Till then, stay tuned to Money Control for all your other news and updates. Thank you for watching.